or the bottom of Rosh Yeshiva. So the halacha is, again, we're talking about when you have a bed and there's a graf sharei, or a ovid shel me'aglaim under the bed. And can you daven in the room? So the halacha is Brachos b'shloisha is like love. It's as though it's on the ground, and therefore that covers effectively acts as a cover on the me'aglaim. And asar v'shus achritihi shloisha as asar hainu the boy of Yosef mefuna v'lo pashin le. Amar Rav halacha k'Shimon ben Elazar. Amar Yaakov Rav Devas Shmuel halacha k'Rab Shimon ben Elazar. Shimon ben Elazar, again, that we switched to other shittas. So Shmuel is the one who says that exactly. So what it comes out here. Shimon Elazar was the one who said, "I feel bias me'ama." That was the original Shimon Elazar, and then we brought the opposite. He said, I think it means here I think we switched it. So we're switching the Shimon Elazar, and Shimon Elazar is saying that if it's under the mita, you can be marking tal amos. So okay, we have my following mice. Okay, this is a different slightly different halacha, different topic a little bit. The story goes as follows: Rav Achai Iasik le'lebrei b'Yabitzik bar Shmuel bar Marta. Rav Achai was organizing. He was involved with for his son, he was marrying off his son to the daughter, to the house of Yabitzik bar Shmuel bar Marta. Ayle the chuppah, so they brought him to the chuppah. In chuppah in the Gemara, I don't know if you guys saw this in Sukkah also, like this, this is where they get. It's not. They make a chuppah, and this is the place where the Chassan and Kal they're going to live. This for the shiur brachos, the chuppah. So they means this chuppah means nesuin. This is where the couple is living. Now, so they want to be mekayim the mitzvah of marriage, of living together, in the mitzvah approval. So what happens? It says lo yistai milsa, but for this mitzvah, they didn't have siyata d'shmaya. Whatever it was, it didn't. It was he was unable to properly to fulfill this act. So Azul Basra the unit. So he says, there must be some reason, what's going on? Why do we not? Rashi says they brought him to the chuppah to nesuin, and he didn't have his time milsa. Shelo yachol livol. He couldn't be boiled. So what's going on? So Chazar Sefer Torah, they found out there's a Sefer Torah de Moncha, and because of that. It was other rabbi. He had the shmaya that he wasn't. We'll see in a second what the problem is with that. So what's going on? How is this? How is it now that if in other words, if it wouldn't be for the siyata d'shmaya, because of this mistake, he said he would have put my son in danger. It's a Sefer Torah. It's dangerous to have into a behavior which is not inappropriate in front of a Sefer Torah. That's our brisa. It says you're not allowed to be mishamish mita where there's a Sefer Torah. tefillin for that matter. Ad shiyotziyim shenichim kli b'tech kli. Now we'll soon see that the second statement is really just going on tefillin. Tefillin is an eitzah to put it kli b'tech kli, and then it's not considered bizayin for the tefillin. Now, to define a little more, is it really has to be separate, completely separate kelim. So a kli which is it's kli that it's normally in, it's used for, that's not considered kli b'tech kli. Of a kli should kill you afila sara money, kichad money. That's like one. One it is, but it's not. I guess one it is effective for, but not two. Rava adds a kula glima, kamtera kli b'tech kli. However, if you would take again these tefillin, or whatever is equivalent to tefillin, and put it in a chest. This is a chest. Like a kamtera is a chest, and then cover it. Glima is with a coat. Cover it with a coat or a blanket. So that's called kli b'tech kli. That's not technically two kelim exactly. You're just kind of covering one, but that's also kli b'tech kli dummy. Amud HaYomi Levi. So now he says that the two kelim is not enough for Sefer Torah. You simply cannot be in the same room with the Sefer Torah. You have to create separate rooms. The way it's done is if you put a proper mechitza in the room, so that effectively divides the room into half, and therefore it's permissible. Now he saw in the home of Mar Bar Avashi that there's a Sefer Torah. And he made a schita sara. You're doing what? Your minig in your house is according to Shuman Levi. He says, I don't understand that. If you don't have another house, now I mean, a house here. By the way, in the Gemara, generally speaking, when you say the word bais, it means a room. A room is also a separate, a real room, a separate room is okay. That's a different room. Just putting out mechitza is a halachic creation. It's really so interesting. You see, you did put up mechitza. Mechitza does create halachic separation. So why is that not a different room? He says no. Mechitza is only b'diavad. You do have a separate room. You put in a separate room. Putting mechitza is artificially, somehow, halachically makes it like two rooms, but essentially it's really one room. And therefore it's not l'chatchila. He says that's a good point. Amalei, lavadaita. I didn't think of that. I didn't realize that. That it was really, I don't know if I didn't pay attention at all. I didn't understand the halacha. So he accepted his tuchach. So it says in the, we said before, that you have to distance yourself dalet amos in order to be able to say Kriya Shema or any davar shebkedusha. Amar Rav Schayra, Amar Rav Huna. Lo yishanu ela lachurav. That's only, it's only effective. The distance dalet amos is if it's behind you. Like we had this before, that if there's tzaya, you have to run ahead of it dalet amos. It has to be out of sight. Therefore, avul the fun of. But even if it's 4 amos in front of you, you still have to be marchik malayeno. You have to have a distance of sight. It can't be within your eyesight. It has to be whatever that is. 100, whatever that is, 50 meters, whatever. You can't see it. Depends how big it is, how small it is, the angle, but you can't see it. Same thing holds true if you want to daven. It's same thing. It has to be out of sight. For Amar Avrav from Bar Papa, Amar Afrista, Oimed Adam Keneged Beis HaKisei Mispalo. It is permissible to stand in front of the Beis HaKisei and be Mispalo. Well, it's not out of sight, it's right there. So the answer is, How Beis HaKisei, Eshen Beit Tzoya. Yeah, there's no Tzoya, there's no Tzoya. So therefore it's okay. It's just that it has a din basic kisei. You made it a basic, you conveyed it as a basic kisei, or it was used once as a basic kisei, but there's no tzaya right there, and therefore there's no problem davening in front of it. But that's not true. We said the halacha is that as far as the status of Beis HaKisei, even there is no tzoya right now, even though right now there's nobody bathing there. No, so so if it was already used as a Beis HaKisei and is a Beis HaKisei, then again you wouldn't be able to daven in front of it. Because you can't daven in front of a Beis HaKisei, just can't daven in Tzoya. If the room is a room of a Beis HaKisei, you cannot daven right in front of it either. So Zok the Gemara, it's talking about where it was designated, but it's new. Charati means new. It's brand new, and it was never used. And therefore, that it's called a Beis HaKisei, but you're allowed to daven in front of it. In fact, the Gemara, well, that was a question with Boile Ravina. That was the question they asked Ravina. He's meaning the Beis HaKisei. No. When something is just designated, what to do? Yesh zimun. Does the designation create halachic nafkamina? Is it effective? Or ein zimun? Well, there is no such halachic concept. Make him a little bit sluya begabei. To say that it's to daven in it, that's the shaila. That was a question. That was not clear. It's a room which is going to be a Beis HaKisei. It was never ever used Beis HaKisei. Can he daven? That was a shaila. Avol Kenegda, but we're discussing an arsuya standing outside of it in davening. That certainly we can say that if it's not, it was never designated as Beis HaKisei, even if it was just designated, never used, that is permissible. Amar Rav Hani Bote Kisei de Parsoi. There's something called in Chazal a Beis HaKisei, the bathroom of Parsoi, of the Persians. So it's automatically defined as it's not a Beis HaKisei. It's like has tzoya which is covered. Why is that? Rashi explains the Beis HaKisei Parsoi is bechafira, and there's as opposed to, again, remember the regular Beis HaKisei in the Gemara is talking about a sada. The Parsoi were much more sophisticated. They didn't use fields. They would dig holes in the ground, very deep holes, and in fact, to the point where actually the tzai didn't even touch the top at all. It was at a certain angle, etc. It would go down into the hole, and therefore everything would stay perfectly clean on top, and there was no tzai at all in the room. So the halacha is that that's considered covered, and there's no problem. And that the place can speak about the different shuvas, analyze, argue whether or not maybe our Beis HaKisei are similar, more similar to the Beis HaKisei Parsoi. I think it's not so pashut that Moshe is stopping in it, and because it's somehow there is a certain point where the tzaya does go into the Beis HaKisei, and then it gets removed much lower. So therefore, it's not clear if we can actually make the same argument in our Beis HaKisei. Zokte Mishnah weiter, Zov Shara Keri, V'nida Shapolta Shich V'zera. We had this Mishnah quoted before. There's three cases. So in all these cases, you can says again. So it says as follows. And we learned that there's a din of tefillas keri, tefillas of Takanas Ezra. That means to say that if a person sees keri, for whatever reason it is, he sees keri. So now the halacha requires him to go to the mikveh in order to touch truma or to go to the Beis HaMikdash or whatever halachic need he would have to be tar. He must be toivel to be tar. What we added in Takanas Ezra, which is maybe also a drasha that we learned from the psukim, is that because Torah requires a certain kovid reish, seriousness, and bakeri is kalas reish. So the halacha is, in order to learn Torah, and this includes also davening, saying Shem Hashem, requires a person to go to the mikveh. So bakeri has to go to the mikveh. Okay. Now here in the Mishnah, now what if we should talk about when it's a double, it's a compounded situation of tuma, which means as follows: Zov Sharar Keri. A Zav also needs to be tefillah. Now, a Zav is more tamei than a Keri. A Zav is tamei for 7 days. A Bakeri can go that day to the mikvah. So he's stuck. The guy's Zav, and he sees Keri. Now, he can't get out of the tumah. He's stuck in the tumah no matter what. Similarly, a Nida, a woman is a Nida. She's tamei 7 days. Shapolta Shechuzera. Now, she also is included in the din, somewhat in the din of Takanas Ezra, seemingly, just like it says in the Torah that the women had to wait, also had to be toivel and separate 3 days to make sure they're not poiled Shechuzera. That's called keri. A woman, the Shechuzera stays inside the woman after she's with her husband for longer, for 3 days. So again, anyways, the point is she's a nida and she's poiled Shechuzera. So now again, she's stuck. She has to wait 7 days. So is there any point in using the mikveh now and requiring them to go to the mikveh in order to learn Torah or to daven? V'mishameshes. Now here, pay attention. This is a little bit the opposite. Here she's a mishameshes. She's mishamish with her husband, so she has shechva zera, and then she's rasa nida. So here she's already here the din balkari precedes the din of nida or zav. So Racham said it doesn't matter because we instituted Takanas Ezra. So the halacha is tzrichin tefillah. In order to learn Torah, you need tefillah. Even though you're going to have to go to the mikveh again anyway, it doesn't matter. We treat it as two separate things. Rabbi Yehuda Poiter, Rabbi Yehuda argues. He says, no, what do you need it for? Now we're going to see here, it's a little about what's the point of Rabbi Yehuda, why does he argue? Iboilu, Balkari Shara Ziva, Rabbi Yehuda. Now, what about the other way around? Rabbi Yehuda patterns, in this case, where she's a Balkari, and then she becomes a nida. Well, what about the other way around? No, it's sorry. Almost identical case. Same thing. He becomes Balkari first, and then he sees Zav. The Yehuda Mal. Kipotri v'hasam b'zav shirei keri. We're going to see this a little bit. I don't understand what the question is. It's almost foolish from Yehuda. But the question was, maybe if Yehuda paters hasam b'zav shirei keri. First, he becomes a Zav. He has to go to the mikveh for Zav. To mikara labar tvila. And now he gets keri, but he's already excluded from going to the mikveh for 7 days. His tumah will remain. Once he already has an obligation in order to learn Torah, to go to the mikveh, to be toivel, or maybe they're also Yehuda Poiter. So Tashma. So the Gemara says it's before in the Mishnah. It's just talking about the case of the woman, but it's before. So first, she's already a keri. She's chayev out Torah to go be toivel. And now there's a shaila, and now she has a Tosefes tumah for 7 days of nida. And yet, Rabbi Yehuda says that once you're stuck in your tumah, you can't get out of it, you're potter. That's identical in the order to Bakeri and then Raziva. So obviously, Rabbi Yehuda holds in that case, when your tefillah is ineffective, then you don't have to go to the mikvah. Tana b'chiyah b'hedya Bakeri. He says this. He learned this explicitly. Bakeri, person sees keri, but then he sees ziva. So now what are you going to do? Go to the mikvah. It's ineffective. So tefillah, that's what Rabbanan say. So it doesn't matter. You still have to do tefillah because it's two separate things. Rabbi Yehuda Poiter and Rabbi Yehuda disagrees. Okay, we'll just start the Mishnah. Tefillah Shachar Chatzos. Shachris is up until Chatzos, according to the Tanakama. You can daven Shachris all the way up until midday. Yehuda says, not sure, we pass on Allah of Yehuda, Ad Dal Shois, that you can daven only, Shachris can be said only up to the 4th hour of the day, till whatever that is, approximately 10 o'clock. Shosmania, so it depends. Amincha ad erev, Tfis mincha ad erev, the mincha is up until evening. Rabbi Yehuda Omer ad plaga mincha. Rabbi Yehuda says it's no mincha must be davened already until plaga mincha, half of the zman mincha, which is already which is an hour, which is I believe it's 45 minutes before the night. Tfilas erev ein lekeva. Mariv is no set time, anytime at night, all night. V'shel musafim kol hayom, and musaf is also all day. And Rabbi Yehuda says, no, there's a Zman Musaf ad Zayin Choice until 7 hours a day. Okay, fine, we'll stop here. Tomorrow we'll learn to the Shachos.